Pentagon's multi-billion-dollar AI defense deals, the hidden stock plays you're missing. While everyone watches OpenAI, the Pentagon just handed Nvidia, Microsoft, and AWS a classified network goldmine worth billions, and the broader implications are insane. Here's what most investors are getting wrong. They're treating these defense contracts like a nice bonus revenue stream for big tech. They're not. They're the foundation of an entirely new competitive advantage that will reshape the tech industry for the next decade. Think about it differently. When the Pentagon awards a contract to build AI systems for classified networks, they're not just buying software. They're creating a closed ecosystem where one company becomes the trusted infrastructure provider for the most sensitive military and intelligence operations on Earth. That's not a contract. That's a moat. And the real play isn't just in the quarterly revenue, it's in the structural advantage this creates. The reason this matters is deceptively simple. Classified networks operate under fundamentally different rules than the public cloud. Your data can't leave the network. Your systems have to be audited by the government. Your supply chain has to be vetted. This creates massive friction that prevents competitors from easily entering these spaces. And friction, in a world where everything moves at light speed, is worth billions. Let's look at what's actually happening. In 2024 and 2025, we've seen the Pentagon expand its AI spending with specific focus on what's called JWCC, the Joint Warfighting Cloud Capability. This isn't theoretical. AWS, Microsoft, Google Cloud, and Oracle won contracts worth tens of billions combined. But here's the critical detail most coverage misses. These contracts explicitly include classified computing. That means secret-level and top-secret-level operations. Nvidia's involvement here is particularly interesting. Every one of these cloud contracts requires GPUs, and Nvidia doesn't just sell chips. They sell the entire software stack and ecosystem around those chips. When your cloud infrastructure runs on CUDA, you're locked into Nvidia for optimization, performance, and future upgrades. Scale this across the entire US military, and you're looking at a decade-long commitment that competitors simply cannot disrupt. The evidence isn't just in press releases, it's in the hiring. Nvidia, Microsoft, and AWS have all quietly expanded their defense-focused teams. We're talking about engineers who specialize in air-gapped networks, security certifications, and compliance with NIST standards. These aren't generic cloud engineers. They're building something bespoke, and once it's built, it becomes incredibly difficult to replace. Look also at the supply chain. Dell, Lenovo, and HPE have all secured contracts to provide hardware that goes into these classified networks. But they're not winning because they're the best. They're winning because they've cleared the security vetting. That's a different kind of moat. Once you're in, you're in. The immediate shift is consolidation. Smaller defense contractors and cloud providers are going to find it nearly impossible to compete for classified work. The barrier to entry, security clearances, facility certifications, audit readiness, is so high that only the biggest players can afford to jump through all the hoops. This favors the incumbents and creates a widening gap between Tier 1 and Tier 2 technology vendors. Within 18 months, we'll see budget allocation shift dramatically. Military agencies will begin consolidating their cloud spend because having multiple cloud vendors for classified work is operationally messy and expensive. That consolidation will flow to whoever has the deepest integration and the strongest security posture. Currently, that's AWS and Azure. But Google Cloud is closing in fast. The third shift is in AI talent. The best machine learning researchers in the country are going to start getting security clearances. They'll work on defense AI projects. This creates a brain drain from the consumer tech world into the defense tech world. It's not permanent, but it's real, and it concentrates expertise in places the public rarely sees. The clear winners are the ones we've mentioned: Nvidia, Microsoft, AWS, and to a lesser extent, Google Cloud. But there's a second tier of winners that fewer people are watching. Companies like Palantir, which already operate in classified spaces and understand the compliance requirements, will benefit from being infrastructure partners. Booz Allen Hamilton, General Dynamics, and Raytheon, traditional defense contractors, will win because they'll become integrators of this new AI stack. The losers are more interesting. Any pure-play AI startup that thought it could avoid defense work will find that a huge portion of future AI development happens in classified networks where they can't access it. OpenAI, for example, cannot work on Pentagon contracts in any meaningful way. That's not their business model. But it means their competitive advantage in the long run might be narrower than it appears today. Smaller cloud providers lose. Alibaba, Tencent, and other international cloud companies lose. And any foreign-aligned company loses. The Pentagon is very clear that its AI infrastructure needs to be American and auditable. If you're an investor, the straightforward play is Nvidia. But you already knew that. The more interesting position is Microsoft and AWS, because their defense contracts are less priced in than Nvidia's. The market has rewarded Nvidia for AI, but it hasn't fully rewarded Microsoft for becoming the Pentagon's primary AI infrastructure vendor. That gap will close. The contrarian play is companies in the defense supply chain that specialize in security and compliance. This isn't glamorous, but it's defensible. If you can become a trusted integrator or a specialist in classified network security, you have a 10-year runway of guaranteed contracts. Finally, understand what this means for the long-term tech landscape. The next decade isn't just about who builds the best AI model. It's about who controls the infrastructure where the most important AI systems run. And for the next 10 years, that's the Pentagon's networks. Follow for more on the future of AI and business.